Hey there, everyone, and welcome back for another Night Watch. I know it's been radio silence for a very long time, but I've been having a few little thoughts lately, so I wanted to get something in there to report back to you and tell you what the situation's like. It is almost midnight, like 11:45 p.m. or something like that. The reason why is this week it has been like 90 degrees every single day, so it sucks because I can't actually go outside until nighttime. Call me a vampire, to be right. But 90 is so harrowing, I can't even bear it. But anyways, one of the cool firsts for this channel is I mentioned on my player display channel that I switched from a Pixel 6a to a 9a. Now I'm filming with a 9a, so hopefully that'll mean that the video is more clear, that my voice is more clear as well, so we'll see. But that's a nice little exciting bit of something, so I'm happy about that. But yeah, it's been a while since I've posted a vlog. Several weeks, 2-3 weeks, not really sure. For those of you who are familiar with my situation, you know what's going on. For those of you who aren't, I learned several weeks back that I'd be losing my job. Again, nothing because of anything that I did. It's just that our office is closing, so that means for the past several weeks, I've been feverishly looking for a new job. I've actually been having pretty okay luck. I mean, obviously, for every 50 jobs you apply to, there's one that you get a response on. And even then, you're either getting an interview or they're saying, sorry, we're moving forward with someone else. So even then, it's kind of, it's a gamble, it's a game of darts, but that's the point, you know? But I'm past that, you know, I'm just like in the headspace of keep throwing spaghetti at the wall until something sticks. So that's what I've been working on lately. So I'm no longer too concerned about that part of the process, but there is something else I do want to bring up. Like, every day my mood's been totally different, you know? Like, I'm not strictly thinking about just the job process, the interview process. Like, I'm really good at interviewing. I just had 2 interviews in the past week, and both went very well, regardless of whether they panned out or not. But I definitely know how to handle myself in front of an interviewee. That's not a concern. Wait, I'm the interviewee. Well, an interviewer, you know what I mean. I know how to stay poised. I know how to talk. I know what questions to ask. I know what questions I'll be expected to answer. I'm good with that, and I always create like a bullet list of all the questions and comments and things of that nature. So that's not even an issue. I'm not worried at all about that. And honestly, I'm not even... I mean, a little worried. But I'm a little worried about, you know, getting a job and stuff, something that's a decent fit for me, companies seeing that I'm a good candidate. I'm not too worried about that. I mean, to an extent, I mean, you have to be a little worried about everything you do, otherwise you're not going to have that push to get you to do that thing. So there's minor concern, but it's not harrowing like it once was. I should find something, right? And for further context, I'm still with the job that I have. I've got about a week and a half, and then next Friday, that's it. I'll be going. That Thursday will be my last day in the office, and then Friday we get to have off, which is kind of cool. But at the same time, this is why I want to do this video today. Tonight, sun's gone. It ain't day anymore. But I've been napping so late. That's why I'm awake right now. But yeah, one of my first concerns is, you know, I guess it's bittersweet, you know, like when you complete a job this way, like I wouldn't say I was fired necessarily, I was let go, but it's only because of circumstance, not because I did a bad job. People wanted to keep me. I did a great job, and I'm really proud of what I've done. I wouldn't really change anything that I did. I'm really happy about it. So I'm proud that I, like, stayed with this company for as long as I did, which I joined straight out of college, and I saw it through until the very end, until the office's closure. That's a big merit for me. I got 3 really strong letters of recommendation from 3 different managers I've had during that time. All great people, and both letters are glowing, and I've been using that for all applications I've been taking, believe me on that. So I'm happy about the way that the job went, but at the same time, I don't know what I'd look like, what I'd be doing if I didn't have a job for a little while. I mean, it's not like, it wouldn't be doomsday if I, like, get to that last day of the job, I don't already have something lined up, right? Like, I got a severance package and all, I got a few benefits that are going to help to carry me where I need to be, for a little while until I find something, so that's good. But I'm not sure how I'd feel during that grace period, you know? Like, some folks will be like, oh, I'm going to take a break for several months or a year or something just to think things through. But that's assuming they already got something in the back pocket. And being a young kid like myself, who technically just graduated 4 years ago, really, we're not that resourceful. We don't have deep savings, right? We're still trying to build that up. That's what I've been trying and struggling to do for the past 3 some odd years, since I actually moved from my parents, right? So what I'm trying to say is, even though this job, I'm proud of the way that it turned out, at the same time, I don't know what I'd look like without it. It's kind of like when I graduated from college. The reason why I hit that horrible depression is because I wasn't sure, I'll be straight, I wasn't sure what I'd be without classes, studying, students around me 24/7, professors around me 24/7. Like that was me. That was my environment. That's what I fell in love with. That's what I understood. And now it's kind of just the same process all over again. This time, it's a first step in a young adult life. You got a job. In my case, you got an apartment. That's the thing that sucks. You learn the job so good, you know it, and you feel like you're a master of it, and you're like ready to learn more. It's like, come on, bring it on. I'm ready to do extra stuff. I'm ready to move up a little bit. And they tell you it's time for you to go. So, it sucks that you learn so much, but you can no longer apply it to that expertise extent where you like go in every day, whether you're on site or remote. Again, I was hybrid. And you're like, this is my routine. These are my notes. This is what I have to do. I love knowing that. It's such a security blanket to know what you got to do and knowing that you can do it, right? So it's a rebirthing process, in that you're in that death phase. That sounds like a harsh word, but like after you're out of that life and they're kind of just hovering between one life and the next. So during that time, you don't have that routine. You don't have that sense of duty, obligation, which I know some people dread every day. I love it. I love going into a company or a hobby or a project like the book I'm writing on. And even in that context, like just sitting at the coffee place and I'm like, oh, I know exactly what character I'm going to write about. I know exactly what scene I'm going to write because I have a freaking outline for the entire story. I know how it ends, cover to back, right? So I have that security there. Even in just a hobby that I'm doing for myself. Well, passion project, but that's a conversation for another time. But yeah, I just need that sense of routine and agenda in anything I do, professional, creative, otherwise, to feel like I'm myself. I have an everyday sense of, this is what I gotta do. And it sucks knowing that there's a chance that there'll be a period, whether it be days, weeks, months, I'm not sure, where it's gonna be that, where I'm not gonna have that. And, other people will be like, hey, it's a time to celebrate, you're not tied down to a job or anything, but I want to be tied to a job, I like having tasks. I like having projects. I like being independent and being able to work for myself. Such a big deal to me in any environment. So that's first thing. Again, I need that agenda to feel like I'm stable and I've got a purpose. It's just how I operate. My second concern that segues off of that is say I find a job, if and when I find a job, I lock something in, whether it's hybrid, on-site, remote, superficial, like let's say that the job would work. Like, it would make sense, the pay would be right, I could learn the tasks and all that, I'd be able to get to the office, whatever. The job is possible, for starters, right? There's training and whatever have you. So that's good and all, and that's what I'm aiming for. But at the same time, there's that part of my head, which is like, I look back on everything I've done, which I do whenever I'm about to do a new thing, because my brain's that chaotic like that. I went to college, and I succeeded with flying colors. I just had that job, which I'll be leaving in a week and a half. Succeeded with flying colors. And even though I've got that evidence and history to prove that I can do things, at the same time, there's that self-doubt where you're like, maybe I just got lucky 2 times, right? Maybe, wherever I land next, it's going to show me the true weight of, how unforgiving this world can be in light of quick, unexpected circumstances. And it doesn't matter how far you've come, doesn't matter what you've done or what plaques you have, diplomas, letters of recommendation. You can be as well-versed, as well-merited as anyone can be. But at least for a brain like mine, there's always a question of like, am I actually good? Or did I just get lucky, right? Did a dog just get his bone on enough occasions to be in the illusion that he's well? But when push comes to shove, and the shove is authentic, then they don't know what to do in the headlights of that situation, right? And, and I know objectively, being rational here, odds are, yeah, there's going to be a job out there that works for me. Like I, of course, always lament the fact that I'll never be a philosophy professor. That's something I've always wanted to do, but it's a shrinking environment. It's also expensive and competitive. So I've accepted long ago that's not going to happen. So then I wound up in my current job, which is going to end soon. Was not expecting it at all, but I trained for it. I learned it. I became a badass at it. But now I'm going to lose it, which sucks. I don't have that security. Like, I had that agenda, which I obeyed and lived and died by every single day, and I'm not going to have that anymore. So yeah, it's just daunting, no matter how prepared you are to start from square one all over again. New job, new office, if there is an office in question, new team, new responsibilities, new data to work with, new research, new databases, systems, depending on where I wind up. So yeah, it's just, you can't, like, sometimes it just doesn't matter how good you are or how good you think you are. In the background, there's always that chance of maybe, like, oh, as soon as I go back out there, go back into war, and become that champion that I recognize myself as, I'm not going to be ready. I'm going to be pushed around a little bit by, not people necessarily, but just circumstances, alienation, not knowing what I'm supposed to do first day, which is expected. That's normal. No one expects you to know what you're supposed to do on the first day. I think it's a sign of a bad manager, personally. It reminds me of that pharmaceutical job that I only had for a day. But yeah, it feels like you're being just dropped in the water first day, no matter where you're going, unless it's a direct continuation of what you've been doing anyways, like a direct clone of your duties. That's not what this is going to be. It's going to be different in some respects. It might be similar in some respects, but yeah, like, as much as I'm going to prepare, there's always going to be that little bit of, am I ready for this? Can I handle it? Am I as good as those letters have told me? As my plaque from my philosophy professor has told me? Or have I just been dodging bullets, scraping by, and not even knowing it? And I know, it's crazy thinking. It's stupid that we think that way. We're better than we know. I know that's true, but there's always possibilities, different outcomes, right? And you just need to, the best we could do is just do everything in our power to be sure that the fate we want becomes a more likely outcome, right? Like, if I were anybody else, I could be like, oh, wow, I'm getting a nice severance package and all that. I could just ride this out and sit and chill and not think about a thing. That's not how I work. If I know that something's going to fall through, if I know that something has the potential to be problematic, I need to assess to it day one. Day zero, like the day I learn about it, I gotta have a plan. It's a good habit, but it's also very sickening, very harrowing. Really throws off my energy, makes it very difficult to do the things I enjoy normally. Like, I've been struggling to upload on all 3 of my YouTube channels. Done a few things on Player Display, a few things here. I think I've touched Pod Plays once. So even then, I just haven't had the energy most of the times because I've been so busy doing my research or napping. I've been so tired. Although, granted, I should give myself some props. After I learned about my termination, I did start, actually, I went to that lake that I go to all the time for the first time at night, at this hour, and it was beautiful, so gorgeous. I didn't record it because I was so into the moment there, but that's a habit that I love to maintain. And that's another sucky thing. Like, I live in a new town, right? I'm expecting a new lease in less than a month. I don't know what that's going to look like. I don't know if I'll be able to afford it with the job that I'll have at that point, lined up at that point, if I've got one. And I built a home here. Like, I love the lake. I love that writing group. I've made new friends and everything. I know what to do day to day once I have that job routine locked in. I know exactly what to do and how I want to build from my life that I have now. But wouldn't it suck if I wouldn't be able to afford it anymore, right? That's a possibility too. So I got to think from every angle, and it's a lot. And I know it's not a unique problem. Many people have this problem, but I'm guessing making this video as evidence to others that there is someone else who thinks that way, and it's agonizing, man. It sucks. It really does. Yeah, I mean, it could be simple enough to just say to myself or to hear from others, hey, it's all going to be okay. You made all the right moves. You're making all the right choices. You haven't made any critical missteps or lapses in judgment. Um, there's always a chance, right? Being pragmatic, there's always a chance that things could boil down to the worst. I don't know what the worst case would be, but even then, I gotta be prepared for an unknown like that. So, um, it's insane thinking too. You got to prepare for all these different endless outcomes when only one outcome's going to happen, right? It's kind of a sick irony too, like that. Like you're thinking, oh, there's point A, there's point B, there's point B version 1, contingent of Z. Like there's all these outcomes that we're thinking of, not thinking of, and a brain like mine, it's got to pull them all in. So no matter which one happens on the attack board, you know precisely how to attack it, and that might be overkill. I don't know. But it's just what I feel like I need to do. Be ready for whatever's on the other side of everything, right? But right now, it's just that hovering death phase. Like, you're not so concrete. You're not so distinct. You don't have that form that you used to when you were at the job, when you were a student at college, when you were kind of just a nobody floating around elementary school, right? I just hate it when things aren't so concrete. It drives me crazy. I mean, granted, what will I do if there is a grace period, if there is a span of time where I don't have a job? I already have an answer to that, because, again, I've been considering every single possibility. I'm going to focus on my book more than usual, because I want to keep being creative. I want to keep doing my thing, and I want to balance my lifestyle. I want to keep myself excited about something and not just be harrowed by fate, you know. That sucks, you know. I want to have something that puts stock in, that puts a smile on my face and keeps me excited and looking forward to what happens next, and at the same time, to a healthy dose, not entirely, not going to cram necessarily, if that's a word for it, but my job search will expand. I won't have a job to be doing during that time, so I'll search more, I'll double my efforts, as the Empire would say. But yeah, I'm gonna do my damnedest to keep progressing for a life in the future, while also maintaining what I got in the present. So my writing group, going to go to the lake a lot more at night, especially since it's way too damn hot now. I can't go out in the day unless it's to get to my current job. So yeah, and the thing is, when I do these logs, I feel like I'm copping you out, where I'm saying like, oh, I got a problem, but it's not to say that I got a solution. It's just to say that the problem exists, and how do we handle that, right? How do we think our way out of it? Is there something we can do that gets us out of it? And as a philosophy major, I don't know. We, again, as I say, we study questions, we don't study answers. That's not our forte. We could test out different answers, right? But we can't always we're not obligated in any way to say which is the right answer. What is the exact formula? It's the right thing to do for every single version of that problem as they come up. It's always a case-by-case basis. There's always different circumstances. There's pros and cons. They're always shifting every second, every moment. Maybe that's worse than I could have done in my brain, become a philosophy major, because I was a deep thinker who became a deeper thinker, and that's arguably not the healthiest thing to do to yourself. So, yeah, that's it. I could keep rattling on. You know me, some of these videos go for fucking ever, and I'm sorry about that, but at the same time, I hope they're helping you, if they are, because that is our purpose. If I didn't think these could help anyone, I wouldn't freaking film them. But yeah, so as for what else has been going on, I've been doing great work, great progress with Step Apex Rising. Despite my circumstances, I'm still going to the coffee shop every weekend, cramming like 4 or 5 hours of writing. That can turn out to mean 10 or 12 pages. It doesn't sound like a lot, but when you got an outline and you're really trying to flesh out characters and stuff, it's a lot of work, and it feels really good to get it done. I built a puppet yesterday. I haven't built a puppet in, I think, over a year, so it was nice to build another one. I say it's so casual, like it's something, oh, everyone does that. Everyone and their niece and their grandma, you know? No, that's a hobby I've had that we could talk about one day. But, yeah, she also somewhat ties into the book. More of a spin-off entity rather than something that's actually going to appear in there, but it's nice to world build on the outside to understand characters that are on the inside that are relevant. So fun to get in that headspace and become that lore master of your own world. I guess I could wrap up with that. I mean, the reason why I love writing, to be a little more positive here, because I haven't been very positive in this video, the reason why I love writing, amongst many reasons, is throughout life, there's always going to be things that you learn, there's going to be things you don't understand, there's always going to be pockets, there's always going to be changes and gaps in reality, and people you know, situations, things of that nature. But I think throughout the last decade of me, like, writing seriously, just as a pastime, this is the first time I want to actually get something published. I find such solace in knowing that this brain up here, it contains an entire world with a culture, with people, with faces, with history, with events that you can pinpoint on a timeline, which only I know. I'm the CEO of what's occurring in that universe. I know everything that happens in it. I can change whatever I want. I can literally play God. That's what it is. That's not to say I'm super important or anything. I'm not. I'm just some loser who lives in Massachusetts. Come on, like anyone else. But it's nice to have that one thing that I know is 100% mine. I can do whatever I want with it. I can bend to my whim. I can make it beautiful. I can make it ugly. And what's happening in the real world, it can be superimposed into this fictional world, and through that formula, I can understand the problem better and figure out how to assess to it better. So, anyways, I've been hearing a few noises. I don't think anybody's out there, really. I've actually noticed there's a lot of wild rabbits that run around town at this hour, which is kind of funny. They all look identical, which is pretty amusing. Maybe they're all related. What do I know? Or maybe it's just one, but moving very fast, like the one squirrel theory I did in my 50 questions for you video so long ago, last year, December, I think. That was a fun one if you haven't checked that out. But anyways, I could keep prattling on. I think I already have, and once again, I apologize, but I guess I'll end here. I'm going to use a word. It's moist. I'm sorry. That's just how it feels right now. It's disgusting now. It's not as cool as it could be, so I'm going to go home, get some air, and go to sleep. Again, why are you playing your music so loud? It doesn't fucking matter. Go away. Why do people blast your music? It's pointless. No one cares that you're here. Whatever. Anyways, no one cares that I'm here anyways. No one cares that anyone else is here. We're all on our own paths, right? So anyways, thank you very much for listening. Hope you got something out of that. Yeah. Hope you're doing well. I'm doing my best to be well. I'm okay. I'm okay, right? But things could always be better. That's the condition of the human spirit, I suppose. So take care. Have a nice night, day, whenever you're watching this, and just take it easy.